Never put too much trust in your friends. Learn how to use your enemies. 48 Laws of Power, Law 2. If there is anyone in this world you are most in danger from, it is the one who knows all your secrets, who knows how you really are and how you will react, when and where. And no one knows this better than a friend, whom we should be most cautious of. This law advises us to never trust a friend too much. Your friend can betray you at any time and can take advantage of your trust. Loyalty and honesty are rare nowadays, so anyone can be bought. It doesn't matter if they are your friend or not. If feelings of hatred or jealousy toward you arise in them, they can easily ruin you by leaking all your secrets. Therefore, don't trust anyone blindly to the point you will regret it later. There is a proverb in China: friends are like the jaws and teeth of a dangerous animal. If you're not careful, you'll find yourself chewed up. This means the biggest potential threats in your life, the people who can harm you most, are often your closest ones. This doesn't mean all friends are like that, but they are human. If they have emotions, those can be used against you, whether it's selfishness, greed, jealousy, or fear. As your dependence on your friends increases over time, you become more and more vulnerable. They will give you emotional support, but when their self interest or jealousy takes over, they won't hesitate to tell all your secrets to someone else. To understand this law better, we will take one example from this book. This is the midnight century version of the time of the Empire and Michael III. Michael was just 2 years old when his father passed away, and shortly after he was declared emperor to be. After Theophilus, the empire was managed by Michael III's uncle. The most prominent figure during this time was Bardas. He was no ordinary man, ambitious and intelligent. If he had wanted, he could have rebelled and seized power for himself, but he supported Michael. When Michael III came of age, he needed a counselor, someone who could advise him and help him manage the empire. In such a circumstances, any sensible person would have chosen someone like Bardas. But Michael III did something else. He was young, ruled by whims, and had no idea that people could betray him to seize the throne. He had met someone a few years earlier when he was wandering in the stables and a wild horse attacked him. Basil saved him. Michael liked Basil's demeanor, and because of this, he immediately appointed him head of the stables. Since then, Michael had given Basil many gifts, including wealth and various privileges. But Michael had no idea that this would be the biggest mistake of his life. Michael wanted to choose him as his counselor, but Basil then had no knowledge of politics, so he was sent to one of the best schools of the time. During that period, Basil became very shrewd and clever. Now that Michael was king, he began taking Basil's advice on everything. For any important decision or state event, Basil played a key role. Michael considered him not just a friend but like a brother, even when the king didn't follow Basil's often arrogant advice. Michael was happy to have a friend like him. He believed Basil would always be there for him, but there was one problem: Basil's greed for money. Michael had doubled and even tripled Basil's salary many times, but his greed never ended. He always felt lacking, and his expectations kept growing day by day. But Basil's true nature had yet to be revealed. Bardas had become head of the army, and Basil knew that Bardas would be his biggest obstacle. So he began poisoning the king's mind against Bardas, telling Michael that Bardas, despite being his uncle, was after his throne and wanted to kill him to become king. Basil succeeded. Michael believed Bardas was plotting to kill him. One day in public, Basil himself killed Bardas. He then asked the king to make him head of the army so he could keep an eye on everyone in the entire empire. Once again, his wish was granted. Now Basil had money, power, and people. Three things that even Emperor Michael himself did not have. A few years later, the Byzantine Empire fell into hardship. Seeing such difficult circumstances, Michael asked Basil for the money he had borrowed from the state. Basil outright refused and left with a smile, as if he considered the king weak and humble. Seeing that smile, Michael realized what a huge mistake he had made, and now he couldn't undo it. A few days later, when Michael was drunk, Basil and his men took him home. The very next day, Michael's head was on a long spear and Basil declared himself emperor. Michael's biggest mistake was that he blindly trusted his friend and never made Basil aware of the favors he had received. Because of this, Basil felt that his rise was due to his own efforts rather than Michael's goodwill, and he never felt gratitude toward Michael. Friendship and love blind a person. No one ever thinks that their friend will betray them. Michael didn't follow suit either, not until his head was on a long spear and the one holding that spear was his own friend Basil. Therefore, never trust your friends blindly. Think with your head before acting. Conversely, never ignore your enemy. Instead, understand them and learn to use them psychologically and strategically to your advantage. Learn to use their ego for your benefit. In general, this law says you need to be more cautious of those close friends who know all your secrets than of your enemies. It also advises that if you don't have enemies, create them. Learn how to use your enemies' emotions for your own profit and achieve your goal. Because your enemies hate you, their next plans and strategies are often predictable. They will always be trying to assert their ego in relation to you. They will always be busy trying to prove that they are better than you. You just have to take advantage of this. If you understand it, you can manipulate every enemy according to your will. A smart person will take advantage of their enemies. A foolish person will remain entangled only with their friends. So, this law helps you maintain and increase your power and influence by recognizing skepticism and complex dynamics of human relationships. It advises you to set emotions aside and think practically and logically. So, this was the video for law number 2 of the 48 laws of power. How did you like this video? Please tell me in the comments. See you in the next video.